Welcome back. Today we are jumping into another explainer, and we're looking at a truly fascinating community project from our source material called Beyond School Skills, a blueprint for real-world readiness. Think back for a second to when you first graduated. Did you feel completely 100% prepared for everything life was about to throw at you? Well, if you're like most of us, the answer is probably a resounding no. This project is designed specifically to bridge that daunting, often totally overwhelming gap between walking across the graduation stage and, well, actually thriving out there in the real world. It's essentially a blueprint for building a community that equips students with what they truly need to succeed.
Which really brings us to the big question, right? What actually happens after graduation? It's this universal anxiety we all share. Students spend years and years learning algebra and history and literature, but then they're suddenly thrust into a world of doing taxes, professional networking, and corporate communication. Honestly, it can feel like you've been training for a marathon for 4 solid years, only to be thrown into a swimming pool right at the starting line. So we really have to ask ourselves, how can we actually prepare students for what comes next? How do we deliberately build an environment that teaches those practical, day-to-day survival skills that standard academic settings just don't have the time or the structure to cover? Okay, let's dive into this because this is where the concept gets really powerful. We are talking about the hidden curriculum. As our source defines it, these are the essential life skills needed for the real world that just aren't typically taught in standard academic settings. And this is the absolute core mission of the Beyond School Skills Project, empowering students by explicitly teaching this hidden curriculum. We're talking about taking all those unwritten rules of adulthood and making them written, accessible, and most importantly, engaging. It's about pulling back the curtain on everything, from managing your personal finances to having the confidence to stand up and speak in a room full of seasoned professionals. Section 1. Structuring the blueprint. Let's look at the architectural solution for building this community rim by rim. Here's a quick snapshot of what that structure actually looks like in practice. Instead of having just one overwhelming, chaotic forum, the source suggests breaking everything down into specific, actionable skill pillars. So we're looking at dedicated channels, things like Money Matters for all things finance, the stage for public speaking and communication, and even an AI lab to keep students right at the cutting edge of the tech curve. But, community needs action, right? That is exactly where the events come in. We pair these digital channels with tangible events like resume workshops. And I absolutely love this next one, Financial Friday AMAs, or Ask Me Anythings. Just imagine giving students direct access to ask their absolute most pressing money questions every single week in a totally judgment-free zone. It takes these abstract concepts and transforms them into immediate, practical advice. Section 2. Powering up with AI. If the structure is the blueprint, this is the electricity running through the house. Let's look at community integration. Let's move to and see how this builds, because there's a precise 3-step workflow to scale our community resources really quickly and professionally. Step 1. You just upload your seed documents directly to the source panel. Now, this could be a list of specific goals for the community, your overarching vision, or even just some key articles on student career readiness. Step 2, you head over to the studio panel. And Step 3, the magic happens. You can instantly generate comprehensive study guides or really detailed FAQs for your members. It literally takes the foundational knowledge you want to impart and instantly formats it into digestible, highly useful resources that your entire community can access around the clock. Now, contrast what you might expect with what you can actually create. Think about the old way of doing things. You just write a script, right? Maybe a plain text welcome message that, let's be totally honest, most people are just going to skim or skip entirely. But contrast that with the alternative, generating a podcast-style conversation between 2 AI hosts. By using the audio overview feature in the studio panel, you aren't just generating text anymore. You create a dynamic, super engaging audio experience that actually discusses your server's mission. This is absolutely perfect for a welcome channel. It instantly immerses new members, making the whole community feel vibrant, professional, and alive the very second they join. And get this, the AI isn't just for generating text or audio from what you already have. Check out this quote directly from our source material. Would you like me to use fast research to find some high-quality articles on these 10 skill areas? So the really crucial takeaway here is that this fast research tool acts as your ultimate community building assistant. You absolutely do not have to scour the web for hours on end trying to find the right materials for your finance or public speaking channels. The tool can instantly find high-quality articles across all these distinct skill areas to help entirely flush out your server's resources. It essentially ensures your students are always getting the most relevant, up-to-date information, completely saving you from burning out in the process of finding it all yourself.
So we've seen the blueprint, and we've talked about that massive gap between school and the real world. We've even walked through the exact actionable AI workflows to build a professional, resource-rich environment. The tools are literally right there in the source and studio panels, just waiting to be used. You can take these frameworks, start uploading your seed documents today, and actually begin building that bridge for the next generation. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I want to leave you with a challenge, something to really think about. Is your community ready to teach the hidden curriculum?